Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 78 of the Babmouth Podcast, and
We're late, Sami. You won't know that we're late until I just told you that we were late.
you didn't have to say that at all, actually.
No, I didn't.
They don't
But
even
it's
get it for
happening.
like a week.
Sure, but I apologize for me sounding sick. It's because I was sick. I still am. I'm battling.
I'm sick of you.
Ah, I'm
Anyway,
battling
we're
a
starting it.
demon.
Shut up, bitch. Today, we're starting this episode with I'm going to tell you ways animals get slaughtered for meat.
Awesome.
I was watching this video and they went to like a farm, and I was thinking, how do they kill like cows and like chickens and stuff?
You don't want to know.
And this tells you. This says it's the way the UK does it, which I'd assume it's pretty much the same everywhere. But it doesn't say the animal specifically. It just says the ways that it's done. But the first picture here is a cow. So let's assume that they're talking about a cow in this first two. So the slaughterhouse process, it has two stages. Stunning, when performed correctly, stunning causes an animal to lose consciousness so the animal can't feel pain. The law states that, with few exceptions, all animals must be stunned before sticking, cutting neck, is carried out. And then the way they kill them is sticking them, aka slicing their throat.
That's fucked up.
The process of killing is similar to the slaughter process in that the animal is stunned prior to sticking, but the stunning method kills the animal. That's just one of the ways. This is slaughter killing of larger animals. Okay, maybe that wasn't for cows, but that first thing was a method. This method right here is for large animals. This method is available to stun large animals, including the following: penetrating captive bolt. Used on cattle, sheep, and some pigs, a gun fires a metal bolt into the brain of the animal, causing them to lose consciousness immediately. Followed up with electrical. Used on sheep, calves, and pigs, an electric current is passed through the animal's brain via a large pair of tongs, causing a temporary loss of consciousness. Some systems also pass the current through the heart, so the animal is not just stunned, but also killed. And then this is your favorite method, I know, because you're a
Shut up.
you're a Hitler fan. They also use gas. Used on pigs, it involves the use of gas mixtures. Pigs are exposed to high concentrations of gas, currently carbon dioxide. That's how they kill those guys.
That's all just fucked up.
So the majority of chickens and turkeys are killed using the gas, and then electrical stunning is used on the birds. I think I've seen Gordon Ramsay use the electric part to kill a turkey before. He like shoves them onto this thing and it just zaps them and they die instantly.
That's so fucked up.
Hey, that's the food chain right there.
What if someone did that to you? Threw you in an electric thing and zapped
Hey,
you?
if that's how it has to be, that's how it has to
They don't
be.
even they don't even get a chance to fight back or ask if they want to live the rest of their lives not being food.
Did you just ask if they could? Well, yeah, no, they don't get to talk back because they're animals, so they don't have the mental capacity to do that.
We have crazy technology.
We're
It could
never gonna.
probably read their mind.
But that's how they kill animals.
That's fucked up.
Anyway, moving on to this entertainment news. This week we're gonna go. We're gonna go bar for bar.
Entertainment, entertainment news.
Yeah, we're going bar for
That's
bar this
that's
week.
the
You
that's
know
the
what I'm?
jingle.
Yeah, I got it. You know what I'm saying though?
I got you, cut.
Not note for note type deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, the original design for the leader in Brave New World was shown. If you know what he looks like, he just looks like the comic guy, and I don't know why they didn't do it. He had the makeup
I
done and everything.
I didn't see that.
I
I
think I
didn't really.
retweeted it.
I didn't give a fuck. It didn't really matter to me. I mean, you don't really see his face until like the middle of the movie, and then the end, like fully.
Yeah, they
Oh
showed
yeah,
that though.
pretty cool.
Right,
All right.
this is the time when you go.
Yeah. So the new 28 Years Later trailer dropped. It's pretty banging. It's pretty banging. Um, Pretty excited for that to come out. Didn't really show too much this time, or actually either time. But I think they confirmed that the second movie isn't really canon. It is, but it's not. Like they pulled back and said the infection didn't leave it anywhere. It didn't go anywhere but the UK. So the UK is just quarantined. All the rest of the world is fine. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this new movie.
The first trailer for Predator Badlands was shown,
Yeah,
and he was like a black predator, pretty much.
yeah, yeah. He was. He's yeah. It was a cool trailer. It was really interesting. Uh, it is a sequel to Prey, so if you've seen Prey, then this is a sequel to that somehow. Then he's kind of the one being hunted, I guess, by everything on the planet. He's he's not really like a good guy, but he's like consider him like an anti-hero.
Because he's black, he's not a good guy.
Nope, it's the Predator himself, not
That's
not that version.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks pretty good. Can't wait for that one. It would be cool. I tweeted at Gamer Thumb earlier. I was like, it'd be really cool to see a Predator in like a dinosaur environment back then, because he had like different trophies of his skulls and stuff like that. One of them was a T-Rex, so that'd be pretty cool if they did that. Anyway, you probably have this one. So new Fantastic Four trailer dropped, showing a little bit more.
Showed a lot more.
Showed Reed Richards' powers this time. Silver Surfer,
Mm-hmm.
the female version, and I think they showed Galactus's feet.
At the end, yeah.
It's fucking gigantic, eater of worlds, like Pennywise. But yeah, I, I mean, it's been like a week since it dropped, I think, or something like that. So I don't remember much of it, but I remember they
It's just the
showed,
Silver Surfer saying your world's been marked for death, pretty much.
and then it shows, basically saying, well, they need to save the world or some shit. I forget what he says in the trailer.
Pre-production has begun on A24's Friday the 13th series, and Linda, I don't know how to say it.
Cardellini?
That chick, she's Pamela Voorhees. If you don't know,
Yeah,
listeners, she's Hawkeye's wife. She also played Velma. She's done a whole bunch of shit. You also
she's a
just
hot piece of ass.
don't say that.
She's in a lot of stuff,
But yeah, that's
but
coming out.
I don't see the point in that show. I mean, I'll probably still watch it, but it's a show without Jason because I don't think they have the rights. They're sort of doing it around the mom, I think.
The first movie didn't have Jason.
Yeah, but they also had that. They also had the rights to. But yeah, it's a prequel, so it makes sense. But I don't know. I think they're even doing a Halloween show as well. instead of a movie.
A24.
No, Miramax, I think. Whoever got the rights back to Michael Myers. It was announced like a while back, like right after they got the rights, they announced the show. Um, but yeah, the I Know What You Did Last Summer Legacy sequel trailer dropped. That one is pretty much like similar to Scream 5 as far as tone and bringing back legacy characters. I'm kind of sick of the legacy sequels at this point. They always go back to the original, and I just think it's a trope that's just getting boring. The new Jurassic World's doing it. Uh, it's going back to the original research area or whatever. But this trailer was pretty good. Uh, I didn't think they were gonna show. I really wish they didn't show some of these kills, but I think I think that part takes place way before the beginning of the trailer. I don't know if you see it, but yeah, the fisherman got some new tools. Definitely looks back to like the original tone, the original movie. The second one was more comedic and wasn't really scary. As scary as the first one. And the third one just sucked, and the show sucked as well. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a banger. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Okay, I don't know if this one is true. It was just some Marvel leak guy, but apparently the Fantastic Four team will face several known villains in a rapid action-packed montage in the beginning of the movie, like the first act. That's what this says. I don't know what villains, but apparently they'll fight a whole bunch of villains in the beginning.
I don't think they're gonna fight anybody until the end. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that has superpowers. I think that's what he established, and that's why they're caught off guard. Silver Surfer comes. They didn't know, but it's possible. It'd be kind of cool to see. But oh, I almost skipped this one. I feel like I have one more. Actually, I have two movie things, so I'll leave the other one for the end. Um, Samuel joins the next King Kong or Kong and Godzilla movie, so
Mm-hmm.
that'll be pretty cool to see that. It would it would be even cooler if we got a crossover, even though the dinosaurs would get shit on, but it'd still be cool. But looking forward to seeing him in that movie when it comes out.
The Mandalorian and Grogu movie got. I should also say the Star Wars celebration or whatever was this week at least, or last week or something. So there's a bunch of Star Wars stuff. I think I have like two Star Wars things, but that did happen, and they announced a bunch of Star Wars things. But the Mandalorian and Grogu movie got a release date of May 22nd, next year, 26. Yeah,
Nice. I still need to watch. I still need to get caught up. I'm really behind. I'm a fake Star Wars fan, honestly.
I know.
It sucks. But yeah, I got a year to get caught up. I'm behind on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anything
what?
specific you could think of that you could be behind on?
Yeah, Daredevil.
Yeah.
I'm on. I'm starting season 3, but the final season of You just dropped today, so
Gotta
I kind
watch
of
your
have
smut.
I have to watch my smut first.
That's so fucked up.
They actually showed a guy's cock. They never really. They didn't. That was the first time they did that. That
You like
motherfucker was
you
had a
liked it?
fucking no, but he was packing. Like, how does that even happen? It was the size of a baby's arm.
Oh, that's how it be sometimes.
It's just fucking. And he had it pierced.
Like a little Prince Andrew, or what is it called, Prince something?
It was a little ball, little
Oh, not that then. Cock.
the little thing with the balls in the end.
Best penis rings on Amazon. What the?
Stop listening. But yeah. Wait, what were we talking about?
A cock, I guess.
Oh, you. We're talking about you. I gotta finish my smut. I'm kind of flying through the last season I missed anyway, so
You're flying
it
through that,
flows.
huh? That's
It
crazy.
flows. It flows way better than fucking Daredevil.
You're fucking. I'm sick of you already.
And this one's a murder mystery, so it's pretty interesting. Because I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Just say your next piece.
All right. This is just a little. It's not even really anything. It's just a what if scenario. The Incredible Hulk director said his Avengers movie would have had the Hulk as a villain and had a different arc than the Hulk we have in the MCU right now. This is a little bitch, basically saying like his Hulk would have been, you know, the Hulk he built and made him into what he's supposed to be, a villain. We kind of got that in Age of Ultron, but it was very brief, and he was possessed by Scarlet Witch. But yeah, it's just a what if thing. And I'm pretty sure Edward Norton wanted to take it that route because he wanted a darker Hulk, and Marvel said no. But yeah, yeah.
We got Maul Shadow Lord, a Star Wars series. I don't know if it's live action or animated, but a Darth Maul series, and it's the dude that
But
plays Star Eater, and the dude in he's a bunch of Star Wars shit. I don't know what his name is.
it's animated. Who's Sam Witwer?
Yeah, that guy.
Deacon St. John?
Deacon, yeah,
Deacon St. John? Yeah,
that
it's
guy.
probably animated then. Because Ray, what is his name? Uh, I forget his name. Ray something. He plays a live action Dark Maul. Because he's an actual fucking ninja.
But they're doing that. I don't know if it's they probably said. I just didn't see it.
It's 100% animated. It's Sam Witwer doing the voice. Or it could be live action and he's dubbing the voice himself. But we never got any type of closure from Solo movie, which he shows up at the end. He's in a train, so he's in a train Kira. So,
Yep.
what else did they announce?
Do you not have anything
Oh,
else?
uh,
I still have a whole
yeah,
bunch of shit.
yeah. Because the other stuff is just like about Last of Us, episode 2. The last Radio Shack ever is closing in Maryland. By the time I think you read it, listen to this, I think it has already closed.
Ain't no one give a
Or
fuck
it
about
can,
Radio Shack.
yeah, but it's the last standing. It's like the last blockbuster.
That ain't closing.
It's not, but just like Radio Shack was where you could go for electronics.
I don't even know why anyone goes to that blockbuster.
I would go there.
Do you have a fucking DVD player? I guess you have the PS5, but
PlayStation. We do have a DVD player. We have one upstairs and in the living room. It was just on the floor under the stand. But yeah, apparently it was sold from the owner. He didn't want to. It was just I don't think it was costing them too much or something like that. I can't remember. Plus all the stuff said he was buying from other places and then just selling it there, which is stupid, but I get it.
Fuck that place. Zendaya reportedly will have a minor role in the next Spider-Man movie.
Makes sense. No, it's fine with me. I mean, she doesn't know him, so fuck him. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's all my notes on my side. Because everything else is just like, well, notes I jotted down for from The Last of Us.
All right, I have Ryan Reynolds has revealed that he's writing a new Deadpool project, so that's coming.
Ooh,
Ghost of Yotai has a release date for October 2nd. That's this year. And then
nice.
I just saw this before we started. Sydney Sweeney has apparently been cast in a split fiction movie, and it also has a director and two writers. And the only reason I think this is true is because the game director or the Game Awards guy also tweeted the same thing.
Oh, Jeff Keighley.
That guy, yeah. So I think they're actually doing
Interesting.
that. I'm assuming she's playing the character I played, or someone else. Who knows? But she's been cast.
It'll be. I think it'll make a cool movie. It's a fucking badass game.
It'd probably be better
It'll
as
be
a
interesting.
series.
I could see it as a series. Yeah, more
Unless they split it into like two movies or something.
split fiction. Yeah, you do one side of the story and then the other side, and you come together and fight your own bosses. A lot of CGI though,
That's all my
but
notes.
it'll be cool. Oh, that's all your notes. Okay. Well then,
Anyway, listeners, let's get into this because I've never. So we're talking about The Last of Us season 2, episode 2. It was titled "Through the Valley." It was just titled "Through the Valley." I don't know how long it was, like an hour. I don't know. It's fucking too long. I felt dragged. It doesn't actually. It didn't seem that long. I feel like they got to the end really quick.
no, there's a lot of people complaining it was rushed. There's a lot of story that they needed to pack into an hour. I mean, it was like she was getting chased. Abby was getting chased. I won't go into too much until whatever. But it was like 36 minutes in or something like 36 minutes left, and she was getting chased by the horde or whatever. I think it's like everything was just happening really quick, and none of it was really making any sense.
But yeah,
This is definitely a better episode than the first.
this episode was way better. There's more infected were killed in this one than the entire first season. They've used more infected this season so far. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just don't like the. I don't like how they use the infected. Like they need like heat or like they work as like a hive, like the World War Z zombies.
Which
I wish they would have just
they started
kept it
climbing
like
on each other too.
yeah, the
For a
for
second, they never
for
actually got over the wall because of that. But
yeah.
also, listeners, if you never played the game in the show, they attacked Jackson. In the game, they don't do that. They just get attacked out in like a fucking ski resort or something.
Which is honestly what I had for the original story of the game, second game, instead of like, you know, Abby luring Joel. I thought she was gonna like infiltrate their camp or something like that and set them up with a horde or something like that. I think that would have been cool in the game. But it was cool to see in the show. Big destruction from the real bullshit that happened.
I think let's split this into sections. We'll split because we can split this in a couple of sections. We can split Ellie and Jesse, and then we'll do Joel's part at the end. We'll just do a bunch of the show because they kind of split between all of these things at the same time. But the main point of this
A lot of
episode
back and
was
forth.
the end,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about that at the end of this review. Let's talk about in the game. It's Ellie and Dina are together, and then they find Eugene's weed stuff, whatever. They're like in a 7-Eleven. In the game, they find it she's with Dina, and it's in like a library,
It's
and
real
it's
it's way
hidden
hidden.
too.
Yeah. It's under like behind a big bookcase in the basement or some shit.
And they didn't smoke any weed in this.
No.
They didn't smoke
So
the weed. Also, they didn't
what was
fuck,
the
but she
point of
also
that?
not with Dina. But
Yeah. But
in the show, the Dina is with Joel,
Joe.
which Tommy is not with Joel, and the game Tommy and Joel are together. Which I did see
Mhm.
someone say, how does Tommy going to go after them? He doesn't even know what they look like. Because in the game, obviously, he was there to see all of them, and that's why he goes. I'm sure they're gonna make it work in the show somehow, but yeah,
Well, in the trailer, Dina says, "I know what they look like," so he's probably gonna try and take her or some shit. Even though Ellie and maybe the all three gonna go together. Who knows? But Dina's the one that says she knows what they look like, and she remembers Abby's name. But yeah, Tommy gets stuck at Jackson fighting the horde. It's honestly bullshit because what was the last moment Tommy and Joel had together? It was not even in this episode, I don't think, because he had already taken off.
it was. I mean, it's probably a moment we just didn't see on camera. If on camera, I think it was the room in the first episode with the kid.
All right.
That was the last scene
See,
I think we had with him.
see, that sucks. Not even being together when he died. Yeah, they changed a bunch of stuff.
But yeah, Jackson gets attacked. A bloater eventually. They like have these barrel things that they like
It was pretty
drop on him
cool.
and they
It was a
burn.
it was a pretty cool fight. Uh,
Eventually, a bloater rolls up. He starts sprinting. He gets in. Never throws any of his acid grenade things.
uh,
Plenty of
make too much
opportunities.
sense. Yes,
They were sniffing out the black people though on the roof, and they
they
just
really were.
beelined. They looked up, smelt black, and they beelined that bitch.
Yeah, the bloater looked up at her somehow, and I didn't even think they could see. I mean, they're part clickers. I'm pretty sure it's a clicker that's got involved into that. But yeah, he's sprinting at Tommy. Oh, because all these people, his other guys with the flamethrowers left. And he sprints at Tommy and then he sees Marie on the roof and he just fucking beeline straight for her, the bloater. It was funny.
Eventually, Tommy gets the aggro. He goes into a alleyway. He 1v1s. Ultimately
He won
wins.
he wants his bloater, and if he did have acid or whatever, Tommy would be dead.
He'd be dead for sure. They're probably saving the acid thing for the Shamblers, if they even show that.
Maybe. But it was just like a completely different bloater from the first season. That one ripped everybody apart. But this one was just like, I mean, he kind of ripped a few people apart, but if anything, it was just kind of this, alpha mailing his way in. He wanted some of that dark meat. And then he went for Mexican. Just so you know, I'm not racist, anybody. He went for the Mexican after. Okay.
Yeah.
He wanted some Mexican food.
Anyway, after the bloater dies, that's pretty much the end of the fight. They didn't really show that much more of it.
Not that much. I mean, everything kind of happens really quick. The whole thing with like everybody has to stay inside because of the blizzard going on. So Dina and Ellie are, in that place, the weed farm or whatever, for a long time. But in this one, it kind of just happens quick. And then they, I don't know if it's Tommy or the back home, the radio chick, forget her name, Rachel. I don't know. She basically saying that Joel and Dina are still out there. So Jesse and Ellie split up and go look for him. Oh yeah, but in the meantime, Joel, Abby Abby gets pretty much awakens a horde in the
Hmm.
first place. Kind of. She falls down a mountain with a bunch of infected buried in the snow, wakes them up, and then I'm wondering if it was because of her body heat. Because it did, I mean, there was an avalanche, kind of like an avalanche, but I know when she was walking by all of them, they started moving. And I'm thinking her body heat was so bad, like, it woke them up. That's just my theory, which is why the flamethrower didn't work later. I don't know why they changed it, but yeah. On the other side, you're kind of going back and forth between Ellie and Abby. Abby gets saved by Joel. It's pretty much spot on for the game, like to the game, like maybe like what in the middle of the episode, besides the little things here and there in the beginning. I
Man,
guess
well,
everything was pretty spot on.
the way they revealed how they, because in the show they don't the Abby's group never ever sees Jackson, and then all of them know about it in this episode.
That's true. And they still
There's
know they're
also
looking for Joel.
some of the characters aren't there. Manny was playing two different characters. I forget what his name
Yeah,
is.
this is fucking yeah. Nobody cares. He dies. This is the dude, the dipshit that kicks Ellie in the face and gets knife to the face.
Yeah,
Everybody
the
else that plays
Falcon.
Manning.
This episode, Falcon gets sliced.
It wasn't as bad as in the game though. I think it was like a small cut.
When in the game he gets across his like mouth, and this it's like his forehead or something.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but
Abby gets saved pretty much the same way, and then she just
I think
runs off by
everything's
herself in the beginning
I think
too.
everything's kind of like almost everything's spot on besides like the horde fight. But everything else is like leading up to that is pretty spot on, even though like everything was just fucking rushed. Somehow Ellie knew exactly where to go. I mean, she did see the horse tracks. There's just stupid moments in it, like the cabin's literally right next to Jackson. Joel wants to go down to Jackson to help out. He literally just could have went. The blizzard didn't even seem that bad. I don't know.
But yeah, they get to, Abby eventually takes them to the house or whatever. Dina gets put under, and then
Yeah, they're like, we're not gonna hurt you. But he's like, oh, we'll fucking kill her, if she doesn't cooperate or some shit. So then Joel tells her to like, you know, just go cooperate. They're gonna put her to sleep. They put her to sleep. I'm pretty sure like some horse tranquilizer or something. That'll knock you out pretty like real fast.
you use that a lot.
No, bitch. I watched Dexter.
But yeah, they put Dina out, and then Joel gets pretty much. Yeah, Abby yaps on way more than the game. She doesn't even talk that much
Yes.
in the game when she's killing him. She just bitch would not stop talking.
She is just annoying. It was like they're trying to make her. They have to make her scarier verbally because she is just not a threat physically, and that's so they have to make her like force her to be like mean. Whereas in the game she wasn't really like a mean person. She was just like Joel, like nice, but needed to do shit. Like in the show, they're really forcing her to be like a villain. But what was the other thing? Oh, the funny part was Joel the whole time. Abby's sitting there yapping, and Joel keeps looking at Jackson, and he has his hands up, but he keeps looking back at Jackson. Like he wants to go. He just wants to go. I just thought that part was funny. She doesn't tell him, you know, look at me or anything like that. He's like, we gotta go to Jackson. We gotta go help him. But yeah, she yaps on him way too long.
But she shotguns his leg, not nearly as bad as the game. It's like a little fucking scratch in the show.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
But then she does get the golf club. It breaks at some point, I guess. I think most
She
of the
beat
beating was from her fists.
yeah, she gets a golf club and she starts beating his leg.
Oh yeah, just
I
like
started to laugh.
smacking the shotgun wound with the golf club.
Yeah, she was fucked. It was funny.
But she like smashes his face in with her fists, and then Ellie does eventually show up, slices Manny. She gets put down, and then eventually it ends, and then she stabs him in the back of the neck with the golf club that broke.
The broken one, yeah.
Which in the
The scene
show, which in, I mean the game, she just smashed his head with the golf club. And this one, he gets stabbed in the fucking neck, which is even worse.
yeah, it's pretty fucked up. The whole scene in general is just longer than the game version. You know, Abby yapping in the beginning, and then they didn't knock out Ellie. You know, they just left her there. They left Dina there. Dina was passed out, but you know, Ellie crawls over to Joel. You know, and the scene's just the whole scene's just a little bit longer than the game version. It's just a little different. They try to do a little bit more emotion into, but the makeup for Joel was pretty spot on. I mean, as far as like, the way his face looked,
Then Jesse
uh,
shows up, and then they put Joe in like a bag, and they just drag him, which is
just
just even
disrespectful. Oh, and Manny doesn't spit on him. He calls
Manny.
him a pendejo. He calls him a pendejo, but he doesn't spit on him.
Uh,
I think he got a lot of Cuckman got a lot of shit for that. So I think they took it out of
and they put
the
Dina on
show.
the other horse, when she's no way she can ride a fucking horse.
No, she was just like passing out when she was on the fucking
She's
horse.
so drugged, and she's just on the horse.
And they could have easily put Joel on the back
They
of one of the
they should
horses,
have put
but
his just dragging him through the snow.
they're just fucking dragging him like disrespectful. Like, and then they go back to Jackson, and then
No,
it
that's pretty much it.
ends. And it shows, oh, and then you know Abby and them they're
Like
leaving.
walking away. Yeah.
They're walking away. Their mission's done. Jackson's fucked up. And then they play the actual Ellie actress, Ashley Johnson, uh, did her cover through the valley that they used for the first teaser for the second game. But yeah, so that was pretty cool that they
And that
reused
was
that.
it. That was it. And they did tease the next episode.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
much
think we'll see some of Seattle. I don't know if Ellie will be there by the end of the episode, but probably episode 4 is when that'll all start. We'll probably
yeah,
see
I, uh,
Abby in Seattle. That's how I'm imagining it.
yeah, I just can't believe there's only 7 episodes, but whatever. I mean, the show's getting a lot of. It's not even getting a review bomb. I think people are just more awake with the show. Even people that love the game, the second game, are not really happy with the show's version. There's just way too much stuff, and there's not enough. They don't have enough time. Well, yeah, season 3 and 4, no, season 2 and 3 are the second game. I think that's been confirmed. Uh, Most likely, the second season 3 or whatever is going to be Abby's point of view.
The Through the Valley episode is their top rated episode with 9.5.
I think I'm pretty sure, like the like Rotten Tomatoes and shit like that. I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but
This is IMDb.
I think the rating's good for like critic wise, but audience score it's been going down. I think everybody's in like everybody concurs about the episode feeling
Instead of
really
saying
rushed.
concur,
I concur. Trying to sound smart here.
that's the episode.
Yeah, much better episode than the first. it was some cool moments. I really didn't need to see Joel die again, but I don't have that connection to him like the game version. So it it was a different feeling though watching it in live action. It was kind of fucked up to watch. But yeah, see how the rest of the season goes.
Anyway, now we're gonna do our Sinners. This is the last thing we're doing. Is the
Yeah.
Sinners movie review. And if you haven't seen this, go check it out. It actually
Well,
is
it'll
doing.
be
I don't know how
when is this episode is
this
gonna drop next week, right?
this episode drops on May 2nd. Yeah, same day as Thunderbolts.
Ooh. So yeah, by the time
It's almost been a
this
month.
episode comes out,
When did this movie come out?
yeah,
April
last
18th. Came out last week, last Friday.
last fall.
So it's only
So
been
it'll
out
be
for a
2 weeks.
week. It's almost 2 weeks. It's got a 4.5 out of 5 so far. At least that's what Google says. I know it's
I
doing
think
really
I
good at the
am.
box office.
Yeah,
Um,
people were trying to rage bait the shit out of like the box office numbers. Like, oh, it only made 60 million in its opening weekend. Or, it's not even making its budget back. I think they said it was like the most successful horror movie or second most successful horror movie, 2025 or some shit.
this year for sure. It's made it. I don't know how updated this is, but so far it's made 87 million. I don't know what the budget would be.
I think they
Mm,
said it was 90,
Oh, let me see.
90
Sinners
million.
budget. Yeah, 90. That's. I mean, it will make its money.
It's a success. I mean, the movie's pretty loved by a lot of people already. I mean,
It opened with 48 million. So
pretty big.
it was. We'll do a non-spoiler first. I imagined I would like it, and I did like it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Honestly, I don't know what I didn't like about it. Well, there's a scene that I fucking hated, but that's just me. We'll get to that.
There's a few things I didn't care for
But yeah,
as
9 out of
well.
10. It was really good. And
I
this,
can give
by
it
the
nine
way,
out of 10.
it was directed by Ryan Coogler, who's also the director of uh, both Black Panther films and the Creed movies.
Yep.
And
Dynamic duo.
that bunch of movies.
Oh,
But
Michael B. Jordan's in it as well. If you didn't know why I said dynamic duo, you have to know Michael B. Jordan's in it. Yeah.
I saw someone saying if Chadwick Boseman was still alive, he would have 100% been in this. Not 100% he
Oh
would, but
yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know what
I'm
character.
honestly,
He might have even been Michael B. Jordan's character.
or
Maybe
I
he
mean,
wouldn't have done
maybe,
twins. They wouldn't have maybe not done the twin
yeah,
thing.
that's maybe he would have played his brother or something. I think that would have been cool. Um,
Spoiler, they're twins.
yeah.
I mean, I think that's already obvious in the trailers. I don't think I've even seen a trailer for this movie. That's not true. I definitely
The
have.
second one, the first trailer didn't really reveal much, and I wish they kept it that way because the second trailer revealed who was a vampire and who was dying most of the time.
And here's the thing.
And
Let's get into the spoiler stuff. So,
here's the thing.
so Haley Steinfeld, she's in the movie, and the trailers they make it. I honestly went into this thinking she was a vampire from the beginning, but then it turns out, oh, she's not, and she's I think it was Stack, or is it Smoke? I don't remember. Smoke and Stack
Stack,
are Michael B. Jordan, by the way. He plays two characters.
Stack's the one that likes her or is in love with her. Smoke is the one that loves. I think her name was Annie.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
So let's go over these
yeah,
main characters. So Haley Steinfeld is Mary, and we'll talk about that because I feel
hot
like
piece of ass.
yeah, whatever. Michael B. Jordan plays Stack and Smoke, or Smoke and Stack. They are gangsters from Chicago. They originally were from this town that this movie is in, but then they went to Chicago. They did their thing, and then they wound up back
I
here.
think they robbed Capone or they worked for
They were
Capone,
like
Al
with Capone,
Capone.
yeah, something like that.
And I think they robbed the Russian, not the Russians, the
The
Irish,
Irish for
and
their beer, yeah.
for their beer, and then they robbed somebody else, and that's why they went back home to Mississippi.
You got Lee Jun Lee. She plays Grace, which we'll talk about that too, because that was a weird way to die. You got Wonmi Mosaku. I don't know how to say her. She plays Annie. I know her from Loki. She's also in the Loki series. She plays
Oh, she is.
Agent B-15 or one of them.
Hmm.
She's one of the time agent people.
Uh,
Let's we go back. You got Cornbread, played by Omar Benson.
Cornbread.
Really liked one of his scenes. Then a whole bunch of other fucking characters. A lot. Miles Catton. This was his first film. He was the cousin Sammy, priester boy.
He did pretty good.
That was his first ever movie. Was this one? And he is the main character. Realistically, he is the main. The whole thing is because of him. But yeah, so this movie opens up. They are basically saying sometimes the music is so good it breaks through. I think they say the veil and then brings in the evil things.
Yeah. I think the movie has a few messages. If you know, especially with the title. You know, I think it's just everybody. I think in that that club had done something wrong, but or something they sinned. But the whole idea of it was really interesting. It was well done. The But yeah, smoking stack in it, like uh, they pretty much on the run. They don't make it seem like that until like at the end or whatever. But they show up with all this cash, and they're trying to get they purchase the what is it, the
The
mill?
mill.
Not a mill, or was it a mill?
Yeah, I think that's what they called it. Yeah, the mill.
They purchased an old mill to use for their
From
juke
a
club.
Ku Klux Klan leader, I think is what he
Yeah,
was. But
you
he
don't know that
says
until later.
he's like, "Oh, the Klan's not even around anymore." But then they'll come back at the end.
Yeah, from I won't get too far ahead, but I'm pretty sure if I recall him saying it was a setup anyway. Uh, they were gonna kill him regardless. But yeah, that was fucking fucked up. The movie has a lot of comedy in it, surprisingly. There's a lot of comedy. Um, a lot of that one word.
What word?
That one word, I won't say it. You can't
That's
make me.
you said it.
No, but there's a lot of that, and it actually makes it funnier, to be honest.
But the
Um,
beginning of this movie, I don't know how long the movie even was, like an hour 40. So I don't know. But the
this is
beginning
a
of the
little
movie,
over 2 hours.
is basically Smoking Stack and the cousins setting up the mill to be ready for this party that they're doing later that night. And this whole movie takes place within one day, for the
Yeah,
most part.
it's fucking pretty crazy.
So the opening is pretty slow, and you wouldn't think there's even vampires in it until
In the
well,
middle of the
if you've ever seen the trailer, you
movie.
wouldn't even know there's vampires in it
No,
until the middle of the movie when the main guy, I think his name is Remick,
yeah, right, Mick.
his character played by
You know
Jack
what?
O'Neill. He's in
There was
Jack
one
O'Connell. Sorry, he's in 28 Years Later or whatever.
oh yes.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's in the movie.
Hmm. There's one thing I'll come back to. Actually, one of the things that bothered me. But yeah,
But yeah, they're setting up this
we'll
party, and then the vampire fella is getting chased by this native group that's trying to kill the vampire. And he goes up to this house. He's burning. He's asked his family because the vampires can only enter if they are told that they can. They have to ask, and they have to be told that yes, you can come in. So this family pretty much gets shit on. and
They leave.
then they fuck off, and then the party starts.
Yeah, they gather certain people. They gather Sammy because he could do the guitar. They gather Slim. He could do the harmonica and the piano. So they're trying to get a bunch of like people together.
And
I think
also, Smoke does visit Annie, and then that's when he reveals that his son died or daughter,
his daughter.
and they had a kid
Uh,
together. And that's one of the first scenes where you see some fucking, kind of.
it's really awkward watching that like that. I don't like watching people fuck. It's just weird. Okay, it's just weird, especially when you're in front of your parents.
They're like
Like
47.
that's how I came into the world.
Well, the movie's 2 hours and 17 minutes. All right, here, like that.
Yeah, it flew by quick though. I mean, it did start off. It was slow in the beginning, but the pacing was still pretty good. I didn't even realize we were getting to the end when it was the end. I was like, that kind of was abrupt, but yeah, I can't remember why they opened the juke joint to begin with. I think they were trying to make more money. I think they were in debt actually, or something like that. Uh, but they had all the money they stole from the other gangs, so they were running. I think they were running low on money actually. But
Yeah, they do the party thing, and see, we don't get vampires for a little bit. So there's a scene before the scene before the vampires roll up, just the three of them, is when he starts singing. Priest Boy Sammy, when he starts singing his song, which if you guys ever want to listen to the soundtrack or whatever, it's on Spotify.
it's pretty. Soundtrack was pretty good.
But yeah,
It
he
was
starts
like
singing. It's just a straight like I don't know how long the scene was, probably like 5 to 6 minutes. So it's just a straight one take of the song. He's going through all of these different people are coming through, showing that his music is breaking through the veil, and all these
I
different
thought
people are coming through.
it was. I thought it was cool to see that, but it was also it kind of took away from the movie for me a little bit. But it was a cool moment. But yeah, it was just showing how how his music kind of like transcends through time.
But then it also the main vampire guy, heard that, and that attracted him to the mill with the other two.
Right.
And this is where the movie really starts. Well, the second half really is where the second half starts.
Yeah.
And you have the white folk. They walk up. Cornbread is like, "You guys at the right place?" And he's like, "Yeah, we just wanted to come in and play some music and spend some money." And then they eventually don't let him in, and they can't come in unless they're told they can.
Yeah, with permission.
And they start
That
playing
whole
some
that whole
banjo
show
music.
was yeah, that whole show was funny though. But yeah, they were pretty good singers. It was a pretty dope song.
Then they fuck off. They tell him to leave, and then eventually Mary goes up to Stack and says, "Hey, let me go talk to the white folk and see if they're actually good people."
Mm.
And this is how she becomes a vampire. She goes out there. She starts talking. They're singing a song already, and then eventually he starts drooling a little bit, and then she like notices it. She starts to fuck off, pulls out a piece, and then she starts walking off. And the main guy launches at her because he can fly,
Well, the eyes turned red.
and his eyes turn red. Yeah,
That's why she pulled out the gap.
that's true. Yeah. Then she's fucking
And
off. You
then,
don't actually see her get bit, but
well,
then a couple minutes later she comes back in. But she does ask Cornbread, "Hey, can I come back in or what?" And she says yes, and he comes in.
he did question it though. He's like, you came in here earlier. Yeah, he did question. But
She
then she
comes
charmed
in.
him.
Yeah. She comes in, goes up the stack. She says, "You can rob banks and trains. You can't rob this pussy or something." And then they go into the back. And I don't think they actually were. They start like kissing and shit, but his pants were never off. She makes it look like they were, but then eventually she just kills Stack. Well,
I think he went deep inside to the zipper, but I don't
but
know.
basically Smoke says,
Then
"Hey, go get Stack because someone's like fucking around with the poker or something." And then Sammy opens the door to them doing the thing, to them fucking. And then they
yeah,
go
she was
back.
running him.
And then he goes back to Smoke and say, "Hey, they're fucking. I'm not going back there by myself." And then he opens the door, and then she sees Stack getting his neck like ripped open.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Actually, this is actually where the scene happens that I fucking hate. She's drooling,
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "Baby, you're drooling or whatever." And he's like, she like wipes it away. And she said, "Do you want some?"
you want some?
And then just like full on, just a waterfall of drool into his mouth. But he like takes it. That's fucking
Yeah,
disgusting.
I was just like, what the fuck? Not even in the moment would I do that.
That's
That's
fucking
some
vile.
that's some nasty shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that part sucked.
she's eating his neck. Eventually, she stops. She like Smoke pulls out his gats, shoots her up. She gets up. And then she's like, "We're gonna kill all of you tonight or whatever." And then she runs out, and you barely never see her again,
No,
which is one of my complaints actually, because she was marketed as she's like more important, but she's not really in the movie again.
yeah,
That was pretty much her last line. Like she's like in the movie still, like in the background, but she doesn't really do anything. You
yeah.
don't even see her die at the end when they're all burning.
You didn't stay for the post credit scene?
Is there a post credit scene?
Yeah, she's alive with Smoke or Stack. Smoke never kills Stack.
Why is there a fucking post
It's,
credit scene in this movie?
you- it's the Black Panther director, and it's a setup. I'll tell you. It.
Well, tell
I'll
me
tell
then.
you.
Not a single
Sammy,
anyone in that theater stayed.
I asked Ginormous first because he's seen it, and I was like, I heard there was a post credit scene. And he's like, yeah, there's it's actually like a 5 minute scene. It's not even like a little tease, like a little small thing. Anyway, it takes place years later, and Sammy has his own band and club, and he's playing like a little bit modern, like more modern music.
I
It's
saw
still
that a
like
little bit.
jazz and blue. But then Mary and Stack show up, and they pay him a visit. And then Stack tells a story of how Smoke let him live as because of love. He as long as he promised to keep Sammy alive to let him live out his days, and he fulfilled that wish. And then they kind of come together about telling each other like, oh, what was was that your last favorite moment, at the party? And Stack's like, yeah, it's the last time I see my brother, and stuff like that. So then they walk out. They're dressed all in like 90s gear because he had like a flat top afro or whatever, the racer head, and then they leave. And then they do offer to bite Sammy so he could live forever and continue playing his music, but he said no. He's seen enough of that place, he said, and he was dying. I think he had cancer or something like that. Stack was able to sense it in his blood. So yeah, that was a post credit scene.
Oh. Well, I guess she doesn't die. Um,
Yeah, somehow they escape, and um, yeah, but we'll get to that point.
so I guess they could do a second movie then.
Oh yeah, because they're
if he
still alive. I
wanted
don't
to.
even. Yeah, and I don't even think Remick died. Well, that's just me. I think he's still alive. But either
I
way, they're
think
still.
that body is dead, but like the flame tornado thing at the end, I think gets sent to hell or something.
Yeah,
So he
that
get,
makes sense.
but yeah, they. I guess we skip. By the way, the main guy dies.
Yeah. Well, we kind of skipped. Sorry.
Because I was talking about how Haley Steinfeld's character's not. She's not in it that much, regardless of this fucking scene. When she fucking runs out of the building, you don't really see her again.
She Naruto runs out of there too.
That's true. But yeah, and then let's speed this up a little bit. We're yapping on too much. Eventually,
It's a good film.
it's a good film, but holy fuck, man, you just talked for like
They,
10 years there.
all right. So after that, they lock
Stack
Stack in the room.
Stack gets locked in. Smoke says no one's moving his body. That Annie is like, we need to get him out of here. Outside, no one knows she's gonna turn, but
They don't even know what they are. Yeah, she's the one that kind of like she's like the witch, and she's saying that you know he might be turned into something. It wasn't until I think after Cornbread came back asking for because he fucked off. Remember to go take a piss, and he left Slim at the door to watch. And that's how
oh
all this
yeah,
shit started. All hell
Cornbread.
broke loose.
He said, "Hey Slim, I'm gonna go watch the dog. I'm gonna take a piss. I got a piss or something." So Cornbread fucks off. He gets bit. He comes back, and then he's like asking to come inside. This was a cool scene. And then he's like, "Well, Stack's like he like tell him like Stack's dead or something."
Yeah.
He's like, "Where were you?" And he's like, "I went to take a piss, but it turns out I need to actually take a shit." Then he's all like, they basically told him, "You're not coming in" or whatever, pretty much. And then he's like, "Well, Stack was my right. He just expected me to walk." And then he's like, "Well, at least pay me." And then Smoke
Why are you
takes it.
trying to get him in the whole time? She's like, "You've been coming in here." Him and Annie and Slim are like, "You've been coming in here all night, back and forth. Why do you need to ask permission now?" Annie knew he was a. I think at that point she knew that they were vampires. Uh, but yeah, Cornbread tricks Stack into giving him payment
This is Smoke.
for. Oh yeah, smoke.
Smoke pretty
Yeah,
much takes a
smoke.
bunch of money. He's gonna give his money so that Cornbread will fuck off. Cornbread grabs his arm because he's a vampire. If you couldn't tell. He grabs his arm. He goes to bite his arm, and Smoke just fucking blows his fucking face, like his jaw off. He has
Yeah,
quick
that's
draw
pretty cool.
basically. He just quick draws his pistol and blows his jaw out, and then he like gets up and shit. It was a cool scene.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, and obviously they had to get smoke back inside real quick. But it was funny because there's parts where cornbreads make like a mask or makeup or whatever. Kind of reminded me of the Jeepers Creepers Reborn uh, makeup. It's just like kind of like bubbly a little bit. It was just
That's
like,
that's fucking disrespectful.
yeah, I know, that movie's trash.
That's fine.
But yeah, I mean, all hell starts breaking loose. People start being idiots. They start going outside. Um, Grace's husband goes to get the car. He never comes back until, he's already turned. Pretty much everybody that went outside is turned.
Because eventually they tell. Because when Stack dies, they tell everyone to leave, and then all those
Yeah,
fuckers get taken.
yeah.
And then
I think some make it out, but a good portion of
I guess we
everybody that was
should
at the party
before
turns.
uh priest boy Sammy. We'll just call him Sammy. He does take a woman to the back because he wants to taste her.
That's so awkward. That part was so awkward.
Basically, yeah, he takes her to the back.
She's like,
She's like,
she's
I walk
married, by the way.
allegedly. We never see this guy. But yeah, she's like, I walked here and let me clean myself up. He's like, no, no, I want to taste you. Then he tastes her, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, then I, I'm, I think he goes deep inside, but
Probably.
they don't really show anything else other than that. And everybody's listening at the door. That
Let
part was pretty funny.
Let's just say Priest Boy went deep,
Yeah, he impressed her.
but
He impressed her.
that happened before all this vampire stuff. I just wanted to
Yeah,
bring that up.
yeah. It was funny scene.
That's pretty much the last fucking scene was that. Well, I guess the last fucking scene is Stack, but the Priest Boy
Uh,
Sammy thing happened before Stack.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Once Haley runs out or Mary, then there's no more fucking.
yeah. Then it was
And there's no
pretty much
any fucking weird fuck. There's no titties or anything in this movie.
no. It's just
There's no like
over the
full like nudity or anything.
no. It's still awkward to watch.
The R rating
Yeah.
comes from the gore.
Oh yeah, the fucking gore was pretty awesome.
But anyway, back to where we're at. Cornbread gets shot and then he wobbles off into the fucking woods with the rest of the vampires. And yeah, they basically they arm up. They start making. Basically, Annie says, "Oh, they're vampires." Yada yada. Doesn't one of them get in? And they like she throws the water on him. Oh, that's Stack. She throws the water on Stack because he breaks out of the room.
Yeah.
She has garlic water or something. She throws it on him. I guess Stack wakes up. She's like, "Let me out, cousin." He's like, "Why you guys got me locked up in here? Let me out." And then he breaks. He basically slams the door onto Priester boy Sammy. Let's just call him Sammy.
Yeah.
He busts down the door, lands on Sammy. It's pretty funny, and then she splashes the water on him, and then he runs out.
And
But
after
yeah,
that, it's just kind of like them preparing for
then after that, that's when Andy's like, "Hey, they're vampires, yada yada." They start prepping
yeah,
steaks, and all of them eat garlic, even though the girl that Sammy went for, I think her name was like Pearl or something.
yeah. I can't remember her name.
It was like Pearl or something.
It was really
Anyway,
hard to hear the fucking audio in the theater for me.
we were like really old, so.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, the chick that Sammy fucking tasted uh, is like bitching about having to eat the garlic, but then she does it. No one in there actually. Slim eats some, and he starts like fucking like dying. But he's like, I drink too much booze, and then he's like, I'm good.
yeah. That shit was funny.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
no
there's their
one
way of
testing if they're any
testing.
are vampires.
Yeah, which is cool.
So they
It
do
was a
that. They
cool
prep
idea.
steaks. They like attach steaks to like weapons, and I think some of them had silver bullets. I think they said. I don't know how they got silver bullets, but
No idea. I know
they had
uh
steaks.
necklace was silver
Yeah, they attached.
because I think somebody tries to bite him on the neck later on, and they can't because it's silver. I don't know if you caught that.
Talking about like when Dak tries to bite Smoke,
It might have been that part. Someone tries to bite smoke, and then
because
they
here's
can't
the end
because
part, because he has like that thing that Annie gave him. She like blessed
no
it or
the.
whatever.
But he also had his dog tags because he was in the military. That's what was hanging from his neck too.
I'm pretty sure it's that thing Annie blessed to keep him safe from
Pretty-
the monsters and demons.
I think it was the necklace too,
Okay,
but I could be
you're on
wrong.
some fucking bullshit, pal.
I could be wrong. He had dog tags. It's some type of dog tag because he was in the military.
Anyway, you're skipping ahead. First
Yeah,
off,
sorry.
anyway, the Chinese chick, what was her name?
Grace.
Grace. They start singing. Oh yeah, they do the Irish dance thing. They can like hear it. And they're like doing, and then they like there's this massive like Irish dance out to the left of the mill or whatever.
It was kind of cool because it was kind of showing you both sides, like to them, and they how theirs had meaning. You know, Sammy's side was kind of showing their culture and how it evolves and how it affected the different time periods, and then the same thing goes for Remic's time. I think he was trying to turn Sammy because, well, the music was making him remember his, culture and shit like that. I'm pretty sure that's what was happening.
But eventually, the vampire people they come to the front of the mill and they start singing some bullshit. And eventually, what's the Chinese chick's name?
Grace.
Grace. Eventually, she crashes out hard, and she tells them, "You fuckers can come in, or like come in here, you fuckers, or whatever." And then all of them get to come in, and that's when the showdown goes. That's when the big fight happens. Lots of blood is spilled on both sides. A lot of
Yeah, I
fallen
didn't even think that.
soldiers.
I didn't think there was that many people in the mill left, because I think it was only like the main characters. But when everybody was dying,
There's a
there was
couple
like
like
all these.
random side characters too in there, I guess.
Yeah, there's like random people in there that I didn't even know they were in there. I think they just added them in there because there was a lot of vampires.
Yeah, they start 1v1ing, and then we lose some fallen brothers and sisters. Annie gets
Everybody is dead.
bitten. All of them die, except Priest Boy Sammy. We'll just call him Sammy.
Yeah, you said that already, bud.
We're gonna call him Sammy. So Priester Boy Sammy and Smoke are the only ones that live the main group to the end of that fight, at least.
Yeah, everybody gets fucking destroyed.
And
Well, Slim sacrifices himself for so they could leave, so they could escape.
he like bro like chugs the rest of this Irish beer, smashes the bottle, slices his wrist. He's like, "Come over here, you motherfuckers!" And he starts like jabbing at him, and then they eat him, and they get off. And then they get to the top of the rafters. Remick and all them fuckers are up there. Priester Boy Sammy is fighting Remick for a little bit. He gets grabbed, and then he like fucks off. And then Smoke is fighting Stack. That's when he tries
Let's
to
just
bite his.
blasting everybody. Yeah,
And then he tries. That's when he tries to bite his neck, and he can't.
yeah.
For one of the reasons we discussed, who knows?
I'm pretty sure it was both things, but
I feel like
yeah.
mine makes more sense though, because they made a whole deal out of it.
But his necklace is also silver.
Does silver even affect these vampires? I think that's werewolves.
Oh, I'm pretty sure silver does too.
Does silver affect vamps? Because silver is pure is effective against impure forces such as vampires and werewolves. I don't know about these dog tags things. I mean, I know he had dog tags, but he was wearing two necklace, and they both stopped him from getting bit. And then he goes to stab him, and eventually, apparently, there's this fucking end credit scene.
Yeah, where he smokes like I can't, I'm not gonna kill you, and he lets him live. But yeah, stay for the end of the credits. It's like a 5 minute scene.
Anyway, I'll watch it when it comes out.
There's a few things that are going on. There's like three different stories. You got the Remick story, you got the Smoke and Stack story, and Sammy's story, really. And then you have the KKK members who were gonna kill Smoke and Stack. Anyway,
Listen here, buddy. We're not done. We're not there yet.
well, you're dragging it on. Let's go. Move
I'm
it.
dragging it on. I'm trying to keep
They don't
going, but
need
you
a.
keep bringing up this fucking dog tags. Anyway, also, ladies and gentlemen, the Taco Bell nuggets are back. I want to put that out
Yeah,
there.
they are back.
Anyway, eventually Sammy gets outside, and then Remick flies over to him or jumps or whatever the fuck he's doing. They make it into this water. Preacher Boy Sammy starts. We'll call him Sammy. Preacher Boy Sammy starts
Oh,
saying like a Bible
Jesus.
verse, and then Remick saying it back to him. He's like, "I remember those words" or whatever, and then eventually he smashes the guitar into his face. This was really cool because I think their practical effect was very nice. And I don't know how the fucking guitar slammed to his face like that, but the metal that was on the guitar, like it's stuck in his face, like stabs into him. I don't
Also
know.
silver, by the way, that burns him.
Yeah, it does. That's silver on that guitar.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
why it
how
gets stuck.
it's. I don't know how it gets. It's not. Preacher Boy Sammy ain't a fucking god. Anyway, he
No, but
smashes.
I think it's the way he slammed it like horizontally, and then it just got that piece just got stuck in his head as he smacked him.
Maybe it's because it burned through his skin and also stuck in that way.
That too, but yeah,
But regardless, the
little
practical effect on it
little
was cool.
it was pretty dope.
And pretty much Remick's whole part of his face, like the left side of his face or whatever, is like ripped open. You can see his teeth are like huge and like long and sharp. And anyway, Preacher
His nails
Boy's
actually get longer too.
his nails do get long, and Preacher Boy Sammy gets slashed up the face. Which the very beginning of the movie, after the little
Yeah, we
animated
forgot
part,
about that.
the movie
The
starts
end,
with the end of the movie.
yeah, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, but he
Which
has
I
this
feel
great
like kind of
scar.
spoils it because everybody dies.
Well, you know that he lives at least.
Yeah,
But yeah, Preacher Boy Sammy gets slashed. Then they go into the water. All that stuff happens. You see Remix teeth, or whatever. And then eventually, Remix he's about to eat Preacher Boy Sammy. He's about to change him. And then out of nowhere, uh, Smoke gets past all these vampires somehow and just stabs Remick. I don't know how, but he got there. That military training got in there. He stabs Remick. He kills Remick or whatever. He sends his vampire soul to hell or whatever. And the
that
sun
his
comes
son
up at
was
the same
coming out.
time.
Yeah, so it kind of makes it seem like because they killed him, they all died, but that's not how it works. That he said, like if you kill the one that bites you, you don't become human again or
Now
whatever.
they did say during
Uh,
the fight, though, the big fight, that Annie said, anything that hurts him, they're also feeling it or something.
Yeah,
But I think the big group that was like standing there watching Priester Boy Sammy was because of the sun.
that too. And they were trying to turn him.
And they were trying
They
to turn
needed
Priester Boy Sammy,
they needed
aka
him.
Sammy. Yeah,
Yeah, they really needed him. They didn't really care. I mean, they're Remick actually reveals like he saved them also, because the clan was gonna kill them all. So he reveals like, I killed the members. So that was kind of
but
like
yeah.
there's a few different storylines.
Anyway, Remick dies, or whatever, and Priester Boy Sammy and Smoke are alive. They make it to the morning. All the vampire fellas are gone, dead for the most part. Apparently, two of them get away. Who knows?
They did get away. There's no who knows.
Two of them get away. There might be a sequel. Doesn't really need one, but there's room there.
No, but it is the 90s and there's vampires running around.
You could probably make it work. I don't know how, but sure. We'll see.
Get on with it.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh yeah, the Ku Klux Klan thing happens. He tells Preacher Boy Sammy to go home.
You stop calling him Preacher Boy Sammy.
That's what they called him. They said Preacher Boy Sammy, or cousin.
Yeah,
This is my
that's my
cousin.
cousin.
That's my cousin.
That's my cousin
We're
right
gonna call
there.
him. We'll call him Sammy. They tell Preacher Boy Sammy to go. Smoke tells Preacher Boy Sammy to go home. All right, because he knows the Ku Klux Klan people are going to show up because Remick says, "Hey, they're going to show up to kill you.
Yeah, they just set you up.
They set you up, boy." Oh yeah, there was a scene before we get to this end. There was a scene when Mary first shows up to the party, and Sammy walks over to her and she says, "Ma'am, I'm with their cousins," and she's like, "Boy, if you don't get the fuck out my face." That shit was funny. Boy, if you don't get the fuck out my face.
That was
The way
funny.
she says "boy" is perfect. Perfect way a white person would say it. Anyway, basically, not Sammy, Preacher Boy Sammy fucks off. Then the beginning scene happens again, and he's talking to his father, uh, whatever his dad's name is.
Preacher.
Preacher is whatever. He's like Jibbit. No, it wasn't that. And it doesn't fucking matter. Fuck off. Sammy, fuck. Preacher Boy Sammy is doing his thing now. Preacher Boy Sammy heads over to does his thing, and now we're gonna move over back to Smoke. Smoke set
We
up.
gotta name this episode Preacher Boy Sammy.
Yes. Uh, Anyway, Smoke is doing his thing. He sets up a pretty much an ambush on the KKK people that roll up to the mill to kill
He has
him.
all his military shit too. Well,
He
not the
has
armor.
like a sniper with him in the woods right there, and then he buries the like M 60 or whatever, and then he also buries his Tommy gun like under a piece of wood
Yeah,
or
that
whatever.
shit was
They
nuts.
roll up. They try to open the main door in the front. They say it's locked. They say, "Hey, go try the front door." And then Smoke pretty much just starts sniping all of these white
It
folk.
was a cool fight.
And then he comes out. He fucking unveils. He pulls out the big gun. He starts gunning all these white people down. Fucking all these crackers. And then he pulls out the Tommy gun. He starts gunning down even more white folk. He eventually does get shot in the side. He doesn't even flinch. He gets shot. He looks down. He says, "Fuck it," and he kills all these white people. And then the main white guy, uh,
It was sold in the property.
who sold him the property, is like crawling around. He calls him an N word. He says, "Fuck you," and then he says he got a cigarette, and he gives him a ciggy. Then he falls
He
over
says
from
no. He says fuck you first.
"Fuck you." Then why does he finish that? He says,
I'm
"Fuck
not gonna.
you." Yeah, he
I'm
says
not gonna.
that. And then he
Yeah.
eventually does get the ciggy. He starts smoking the ciggy. He falls down. He's losing a lot of blood. And then he sees
He
Annie
sees Annie and
because
his baby.
he's moving over to the next life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Annie's breastfeeding.
This is fucking weird.
But yeah, they're doing that. Eventually, the white
That's
guy starts saying, "Hey, I got money," and then he just Tommy guns the shit out of him. Actually, he just mag dumps the white guy
just mag dumped them.
right in front of him too.
That shit looks so real too, because he's just sitting there like still breathing as he's dying. He's just like,
But then
that was fucking crazy.
after that,
Smoke dies.
the Smoke dies, and then Preacher Boy Sammy grows old. Well, he keeps getting told to drop the guitar. Then he does actually leave the plantation there at the end. He gets in the car, fucks off,
Yeah.
and he
There's a
starts
time jump to 92.
92, yeah, where this new scene happens, apparently.
Yeah. Pretty much just they're not gonna kill him, but they offered to bite him. Uh, and they were talking about their moments. What were their favorite moments of the party? And then obviously I already said it. You know, Sammy's was playing, and the whoever the chick was, I forget her name. And then Smoke and Stack, they're like, that's the last time I see my brother, and that's the last time we've seen the sun. Because they can't come out, obviously. Mary didn't say one word. I think she said like one thing. She was just standing there. It was kind of weird. She didn't even get a line in. It was mainly just a conversation between Stack and
Preacher Boy Sammy.
Sammy. Preacher Boy Sammy, yeah. Just, but yeah, it's pretty cool. He has his own club and band, and he's pretty old.
His
He still
scar
has that
heals
big ass
over.
scar.
Yeah,
Yeah, he still has a scar though, but it's there. It's pretty badass. But yeah,
that's the movie.
yeah, it's set up for a sequel if they want to in modern time. I think Ryan Coogler also said that this is kind of like his version of Blade, his Blade that he
Well,
would
who's
have
fucking
done.
Blade?
I have no idea. I guess Stack
Wow.
because he's still alive. And he actually is wearing the glasses too, like the circle glasses.
Well, if they want to make a
Uh,
sequel, it's there, I
it's
guess.
possible. It's possible. I don't see a reason to because this one was really like the music was like the reason why Remick wanted Sammy anyway. And he's trying to connect to his past and loved ones. But yeah, the movie's a solid 9 out of 10. It does have its slow moments. Oh, and the Native Americans never even come back. I really hated that part. Like, they're
Yeah,
just there in the beginning, and then they just never come back. It's kind of
they just
like,
they go hide and then that's it.
Yeah, that part was it's kind of like the fucking cult and Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Like they just show up randomly. But
I can't believe you keep fucking comparing this movie to that.
oh, it's just like a random moment. Like it's kind of like they introduce them, like, and then they just fuck off. They just don't even come back. That was
Anyway,
like one of my nitpicks. Besides the fucking scenes, weird, and the drool scene.
the spit scene was the only thing I didn't like. That took a whole
Yeah,
point off mine. I would have been 10 out of 10 if she didn't spit in his mouth. It's not even like she just went, "Tuh." It was full on, like, oh my God.
it was thick
Like, full on
discharge.
waterfall of, like, drool. Oh my
It,
God.
was, it has the same consistency as like snake venom coming from the teeth. It was like real thick like that.
Yeah. Two C's and a Q.
Yeah,
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's
but
it.
go see
No.
the movie. Go see the movie. It's definitely worth the purchase to see it in the theaters. It's a
And
dope, really
my
good movie.
theater didn't have any popcorn bucket things. I was also told they didn't exist. Yours apparently did have them. I also saw a
They had
picture on Twitter or X with someone getting it.
that's what I said.
The popcorn bucket that I saw looks pretty sick.
Well, the one I seen was kind of like I think it was kind of like the movie,
It's
just the
kind of
movie
like the
poster.
poster, kind of, but it was kind of like it was like black and red. The one I saw.
Yeah,
It was
that's the
like
one I
Michael
seen.
B. Jordan's character like wrapped around it and shit.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much the one I seen.
That doesn't
They had
exist.
two.
Didn't exist. And the cup was literally
That,
just a movie poster wrapped around it.
yeah, so that was pretty much right.
Yeah, I didn't. That doesn't exist here. So you
Well,
kind of did
Oregon
lie.
sucks. I did it because it exists here.
Yeah, but you live in fucking Cali where they have everything.
True, true.
We don't. I live out here. Us white folk, we don't get everything. You know. Anyway, shout out
Yeah,
Preacher Boy Sammy. Go see this movie.
solid movie.
If they wanted to, they could also do like a prequel where maybe they show Remick, maybe more back in the day. Maybe how
I
he
wouldn't
became a
mind that. Yeah,
vampire.
that would be pretty cool. There's still a lot of like we don't know like why they exist in this world and things like that. So it'll be interesting if he expands on it. And he actually delayed Black Panther's release or shooting Black Panther because he wanted to make this movie. So and I'm glad he did.
I did see actually. I think he wasn't able to make this movie for a long time because he didn't have the rights to it, but he was given the rights or something. That's why he was not making it.
Uh, rights for what? Like the music?
The whole movie.
Interesting.
Like I think it's, he like sold it to someone and then they didn't do anything with it, and he was able to get it back.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
It could have been. It was something like that, or it was something I don't know. But yeah, go check it out in theaters now. Not sponsored.
Go to go to Edwards. Fuck AMC. Fuck Wells Fargo. Fuck
Did you say fuck
Pandora.
Edwards?
Yeah.
The fuck is Edwards?
Uh, um, yeah, my earbud died, I think.
Your earbud died?
Oh wait, no, I gotta hear you again.
What the fuck's Edwards?
Oh, Regal.
Fuck Regal?
No, I said go see it at Edwards or Regal.
What the fuck is
Heck,
Edwards? What is
Edwards
Edwards?
Edwards Cinema. It's Regal.
I've
It's one
never
of the
heard of
Regal
that.
theaters. That's what's out here, buddy. That's what we went to go see fucking the monkey. It
It's
was
not
a
called
Regal
Edwards. It's
Edwards.
probably like I think mine's called like Cinemax 16 Regal. Is your called like Edwards Regal?
Yeah.
Fuck. It's a good name.
Not well, a few of them are. The one that we went to is just, I think it's just Ontario Mills Regal or something like that.
Anyway, you're doxing
Did you end the
Regal.
pod?
Did I end it? No, not yet.
Yeah. Oh,
If you'd shut the.
people know where I live.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go see this. Go see Preacher Boy Sammy. Um. Fuck AMC. Fuck Pandora. Fuck Wells Fargo. Fuck
Fuck you. Leave a like
Fuck
on the
you.
YouTube.
Fuck The Last of Us season
5
2.
stars. Yeah, fuck The Last of Us season 2. We're still gonna watch it though because we need to review it. And yeah, more movie reviews coming soon. A
Oh
lot of
yeah,
movies coming
I
out.
didn't say this. Oblivion got shadow dropped.
Oh yeah, it's one of the news things that we didn't talk about. It's fine.
Go play that on Game Pass for $1, and then
Yeah,
refund it
next.
before it ends, and then buy it again for $1.
Yeah, next is gonna stream it right now.
No,
Oh,
maybe. I did get my lockpicking to 100. I did a glitch
huh.
off
Not
stream.
surprised.
Well, it's not really. It's not even a glitch. It's more of like a, what is it called? Like I don't.
Exploit.
Yeah, I didn't exploit. So now whenever I put any of those tumblers up, they won't fall. So I really can't fail anymore. So now the game's
I hope
perfect.
not.
And then you're gonna be playing Days Gone Remastered on the hardest
Yep.
difficulty.
Yep.
Remember this, folks.
I
He
will.
said hardest.
I'm gonna do it on the hardest,
And
and I'm gonna hate every second of it.
but anyway, fuck all those places, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.